it feels like already, and the momentum started building at the end of 2023, but the rules are going to be a little bit different this year than they were last year with interest rates, climbing. It seemed like there were fewer people deciding to move, fewer people deciding to buy, but it's kind of loosening up again.
Yeah, we've talked about this on recent shows that there was a significantly less number of or smaller number of homes nationally that sold in 2023 than the year prior. Of course, that had been kind of a record-breaking year, but all of this kind of back and forth and ups and downs, it makes it so maybe sometimes have some outdated notions on what it takes to buy real estate right now.
Because we're going to kind of do old rule, new rule. Old rule being rules for last year. And then,
so 2023.
Yes, and the new ones is what you should be looking forward to in 2024. But obviously an old rule last year was mortgage rates were getting so high that buying a house may not have made sense, whether you were thinking about selling your current home and moving to another one or getting into the market for the first time. But rates are starting to not only, they've stabilized and have come down almost 2 points from their high mark. So that should not stop buyers from getting into the market, because if you wait, you're just going to lose equity.
Yeah, new rates or the new rule, rates are ebbing, so that's not stopping buyers.
And when mortgage rates hit about 8%, that was stopping a lot of people, right, Misty?
Well, it scared people, and then there were a lot of messages of it not making sense, even though historically it's not the highest that things have been, and home buying and selling has happened in all interest rate environments. But it also, I think where it had a bigger effect wasn't on first-time home buyers. It was really more on move-up buyers that had an interest rate on their current home that was much lower. So they felt like they were really losing if they didn't do something, or if they did do something.
But the forecast, according to Realtor.com, they say that mortgage rates will end the year in about the mid-sixes, and I believe that was the interest rate I got when I bought my first home.
Right.
And that was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So you should probably think about getting into the market, because all you're doing is losing equity if you don't decide to buy.
Yes, because home prices are continuing to increase in the meantime. I liked what a few weeks ago we had Derek Hargis from Land Home Financial Services on, and I loved what he said, and I've used it many times since. If the counter to I'm going to wait till rates go down is, if you buy a home now, you can still get that rate later that everyone's waiting for. But in the meantime, you've bought a home, you're gaining equity, you're having an interest rate deduction. Those people are going to be competing and paying more for a home.
Yep. And if you're waiting for interest rates to get into the 2 or maybe even 3% range, that's
not happening anytime soon.
It's not. So old rule last year, new buyers won't face much competition, but the new rule is it looks like competition may be increasing for 2024.
Yes, and that's part of the interest rate environment looking like it will become more favorable this year. For every drop in interest rates, thousands of buyers enter the market or make a decision to make a move. So that brings a lot more competition.
An old rule for 2023, sellers won't bend much to buyer demands, but the new rule is you can, as a buyer, ask for some concessions and often get them.
Yeah, and that's all about having a smart strategy with a professional real estate agent, someone that can help you look at, okay, what's the goal in buying this house? What things are important to you? What's going to make it work? How we structure things financially, how we work an inspection. Because buyers do have the time and the leeway now to be able to make sure that it's a great fit for them, and then they can buy it in a way that they want.
I know. I think back to, when it was just during the pandemic and right after post-pandemic, how quickly you had to make a decision. We bought in that market. And we went and looked at a home with your real estate agent, Emily, and pretty much decided that if we wanted that home, we needed to tell her to write an offer tonight.
And you were in the mode to buy a house. So
Yes.
It wasn't like oh my gosh, I would never buy this otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people erroneously, though, think don't let don't let the fact that we're saying you do have more time, maybe sellers will give more concessions. That doesn't mean you can be prepared to knock $20,000 off of a price.
Yes.
There still is a lot of competition, but it's how we structure things. Just not having it be all like, nope, you have to pay over asking price, no inspection, no concessions, let the seller live there for a year afterwards with no payments. Like it just, that's not the environment we're in now.
And that kind of leads us into the fourth, point, which is that a reasonable offer is probably going to get you where you need to go, especially if it's negotiated by a very experienced real estate agent. You don't have to sit there and make the highest and best offer to get someone's attention.
Yeah, I mean, that was the old rule, like we were just saying, like, throw it all out the window, just get the house, and it'll go up in value really quickly afterwards. The new rule, a reasonable offer will do the trick, and you'll be in a good position.
Old rule, if you like a house, submit that offer ASAP. But the new rule, and I'm going to ask you about this, a soft offer. What is exactly a soft offer?
Well, that's more not giving an official offer, but just kind of saying, hey, like, if we did something like this, is this something your seller would be receptive to? Is it worth us putting this on paper?
Gotcha. An old rule, buy and then flip to make money quick. But the new rule is maybe hang on to that longer because long-term investments make more sense.
Yeah. It is interesting because, just investment strategy has changed with this market as well.
Well, and it seems like obviously you could buy a home, flip it, and sell it for a profit. But if you were able to buy that home, flip it, and then rent it, we talk all the time about the housing shortage. That could end up being a great long-term source of income.
Right.